Hey guys, Hailey Lain aka Key Black here, and welcome back to another episode of Off the Cuff. And today, I want to talk again about the One Piece live action because I finally finished the first season of it and I had a lot of fun watching it. So the last time I recorded one of these, I had only watched up to and through the Baratie arc, and we had just gotten the Arlong entrance and, lead into the Arlong Park bit. I was really curious how they were going to handle Nami's backstory, and I'm delighted to share that it hit me right in the Kokoro exactly as it was designed to. Obviously certain elements were changed, but Belmare hit exactly as hard as she needed to. I loved the glimpse into when she found Nami and Nojiko. I only wish we could have seen a bit of Genzo in that backstory, because I always liked that little bit where his face looks too scary, so he's making the girls cry, so he puts the pinwheel on his head to make him smile. I've always liked that bit, but I was happy to see that they kept the pinwheel on his hat anyway, so that was like, yes, okay, good. I was also very happy to see Luffy finally getting really serious. I've got my opinions about certain elements of his character, and I kind of want to see him being a bit more mischievous, but the actor's having a blast, and it's really contagious. And I do like that they keep underscoring Luffy's value of freedom above all else, being the reason why he wants to be a pirate, being the reason why he does anything. The thing he takes the most offense to is oh, so I see freedom is being restricted here. It was really fun seeing that parallel they were building between Luffy and his relationship with Garp. Garp trying to control him and force him into the Marines, force him to grow up to be a strong, respectable Marine. And Luffy kind of projecting that on other characters who he sees, as their freedoms being restricted and everything. Luffy is coming across in this kind of interesting blend of both really young and naive and also unexpectedly wise in some weird ways. So he's kind of a different Luffy to what I'm used to, but I'm enjoying it. And again, it was really fun seeing him finally get serious. I was so excited to see them starting to work in some more of Luffy's attacks. I was really happy to see the Gum Gum Gatling finally show up. I was wondering when they were gonna do that. I'm still kind of floored by the effects in this show and how good they look. I thought it was gonna look really Uncanny Valley. How do you make a person stretching like a rubber man not look creepy? But they did it. And really, I think one of the highlights of the show is the look. Everybody looks fantastic. I love how they interpreted the fishmen. I think one of my favorite designs so far has been Arlong and what they did with the sawtooth on his nose. And they've created this kind of environment where you don't question the weird hair colors or costume choices. It's that seems right. They didn't shy away from anything like that. We're not getting just muted grays and everything. The colors are there. They're not, cartoonish when they don't need to be, but they're also not afraid of making the characters as ridiculous as their original designs are. We've got Nezumi here walking around with mouse ears and little whiskers poking out of his upper lip, and of course Garp walks around with his dog hat. Nobody bats an eye. That's One Piece. And then the fight scenes themselves look amazing as well. I think Zoro and Sanji completely stole the show at the Arlong Park battle. There's this one shot where Zoro manages to block a couple of blows, but he doesn't see the one fishman coming behind, and Sanji comes out of nowhere. And of course, I'm gonna gush a little bit about Sanji here because I was really, really happy to see his combo finisher on Karubi. And the fact that, of course, he calls out his attacks just like Luffy does is yes! Thank you, I need more of this silliness. I want Zoro saying onigiri next, please. I do wish we could have seen a bit more of the brutality of the fight between Luffy and Arlong, but I was delighted to see the sudden change in Luffy's expression and demeanor when he realized what he needed to do to actually defeat Arlong. I was grinning big when he said that he had to destroy the Arlong Park, and the collapse looked freaking amazing. They had the whole thing crumbling from top to bottom, falling in on itself, and then Luffy got the shot where Luffy emerges from the middle of the rubble, stands atop it, and goes, "You're our friend, and we are your crew." I was like, yes! Oh, I was wondering how they were gonna adapt that line. I liked that. I liked that adaptation. I thought it was a really interesting choice in the aftermath to have Garp enter the plot this early on. He's been kind of hinted at throughout the first season, which is I was kind of wondering what they were going to do with that, and I like how they've got him developing, his plot line much earlier on. Same thing with Kobe and how he's going to later feel about the goings-on of the world. I'm trying to avoid spoilers here in case anybody watching hasn't read or watched the original. It was really fun seeing Garp compare Luffy and his memory to Gold Roger, so that's going to feel really nice when we get to Logue Town and we get the event that happens there, and I am so excited to see how they start off next season with that, especially with the stinger. getting to see Smoker for the first time. I'm really excited. I'm kind of wondering how they're gonna pace the next season. Like, are they gonna jump straight into Alabasta? Are they gonna, take some time to explore some of the smaller islands that the gang hits on the way there? Or are things gonna be rewritten, combined? Who knows? I'm pretty stoked to see how that develops. So I, for one, am very excited to see season 2 of the Netflix One Piece live action adaptation. I'm looking forward to getting to talk about that too whenever they do release it. So guys, thanks so much for listening and for watching, and I will see you in the next Off the Cuff. Thanks again.